So hello students, welcome back to the e-learning class of your science, and today we will study the part third of our chapter, that is cell. Before this we have learned about what are fibers, what are the different types of fibers, about what is a wool and how wool is processed in the industry. So the next part of the chapter is cell and the life cycle of cell. In this part we will study about what is a cell, how this cell moth used to converted into a silk fiber, and next will be the grades of silk and the variety of silks which we have in our markets. Now, talking about the silk, that silk fibers are obtained from silk worm, and it is obtained by a special species called Bombyx mori. It is called as Bombyx mori. So silk is an animal fiber, and the basic thing is that silk is also called as queen of fibers. It is also called as queen of fiber because it is one of the most finest quality of fiber, which can be weared in summer season also and in winter season. If you wear it in summer season, it will provide coolness to the body, and if it is wear in winter season, it will provide the warmness to the body. So it can be wear in both the seasons. Now, talking about the life cycle of a silk moth, so I have told you earlier also that the moth which used to carry this life cycle of a silk moth is its scientific name is Bombyx moth. So the adult moth mate with each other, that is the male moth and the female moth. Moth means species of silk moth. So silkworm, the male moth and the female moth, they all both interact with each other, and this female moth lays eggs on the special plant, that special leaves of a plant, that is mulberry leaves. The female moth lays many tiny eggs on the mulberry leaves, and after 20 days, this eggs gets converted into caterpillar. It gets converted into larva or caterpillar. A caterpillar hatches out of its mulberry leaves. It will not be visible to you, so I am just rotating it somewhat here. So after laying the eggs on the mulberry leaves, these eggs after 20 days converted into caterpillar, and this caterpillar used to feed there only, used to eat that mulberry leaf on which that species lying, and after 6 months it gets converted into a round shape. Almost an egg-like shape is formed because this caterpillar used to secrete some liquid material from its mouth, and this liquid material surrounds the body, its body in the shape of 8. It surrounds its body in the shape of 8, and it forms like this like structure will be formed, and this is called cocoon. The caterpillar spins a cocoon of silk thread around itself. So it spun, especially it's used to just secrete that liquid part from its mouth, and that liquid parts used to get around the body of that caterpillar in the form of 8, and after some time it's converted into this. Now, when this cocoon is almost matured, a silkworm inside it will be in this form, that is pupa. After this, it will be formed into a pupa. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar changes into pupa. When it is matured, it used to get converted into pupa. Now, when pupa is then we used to unwind the silk. Means we used to just put it into the hot water. This worm is killed in that cocoon, or we can just extract if it is live after just giving a hot bath. Then we used to collect the fibers, and we used to get for the further processing. So this is the whole life cycle of a silk moth, in which the female part gives the eggs on the mulberry leaves. That mulberry leaves, that eggs used to convert into caterpillar after 20 days, and that caterpillar used to live there on that mulberry leaf only for 6 months, and slowly it gets converted into a cocoon, that is a hard egg like structure. It is because that caterpillar used to secrete a liquid material from its mouth, and that liquid material used to get surround its own body in the form of 8, and it forms like that, the given in D part. Now, after that formation of cocoon, that cocoon has inside pupa. that is a silkworm. It has inside the pupa, and when this it is get matured, we used to put it into the hot baths. Means we used to put them into the boiling water, in which this pupa used to get killed, or the silkworm used to get killed, and we used to get the fibers in the form of silk. Now moving to the next part, that we have obtained that cocoon. That cocoon is made. Now we have to convert into a silk fabric. So what are the process by which we used to convert that cocoon to a silk? I have discussed with you that first we have to kill that pupa or larva which is present inside that cocoon. So for killing that larva or pupa, that pupa or worm inside the cocoon, we have to boil it. We used to just put it into the hard water. If the covering is too hard, then we can also put, first what we can do, that hot water, hot or boiling water, we can put it in hot or boiling water. And if it is very hard, then we can also put it in ovens. There are several different huge ovens available in the industries, in which we can just easily break that cocoon, hard cocoon. So if it can be easily break, then we can just put it in hot water and it can be break. And if it is too hard, then we have to put it into oven so that it can be easily break. Now we have break that cocoon also. Now we have to take out that fibers of silk from that cocoon. So the process by which we used to take out that fibers from the cocoon is called as reeling. The process of taking out threads from the cocoon is called reeling of silk. In a summarized manner, we can say that we have broken that cocoon. Now we have to take that fibers from that cocoon, remove that fibers from that cocoon. So the process by which we used to remove that fibers from the cocoon is called as reeling. And here we get the three grades of silk. That is raw silk. It is also known as real silk. It is also known as real silk, which is the one of the most finest quality of silk, which is used in making sarees, curtains, shirts. Means the finest qualities, or we can say the topmost quality of silk is called raw silk or real silk. Then spun silk, less inferior. Inferior quality, which can be used for making these bed sheets or etc. Then the lowest, that is, we can say in other words, that is the waste. Waste silk is called as nail silk. Waste. Waste part of the silk is called as nail silk, which can be used for making carpets and other small things. So these are the three grades of silk: raw silk, spun silk and nail silk. So by reading, we used to categorize that silk into three parts: raw silk, spun silk, nail silk. If it is one of the best quality, then it is called as raw silk. If it is of medium quality, then it is called spun silk. And if it is of the third grade quality, or we can say most inferior grade quality, then it is called as nail silk. So these are the three different grades of silk which is obtained by reeling. Now we have taken out that fibers. Now we have to make them somewhat all together, so that it cannot be split into individual fibers. So for making this, we have to carry out a process which is called as throwing. That's throwing is the process by which we used to bind all the fibers into a single one, so that it cannot be split into individuals one. And this process is called as throwing. So the throwing, the silk is twisted to produce thrown silk, and process is called as throwing, which is done to prevent from splitting. So we usually do, especially boys can also correlate when we used to fly kites, and that thread, when our kite used to get cutted, then we used to separate that thread. So we used to throw the thread away from the waste thread away from this. So what we do, we used to just roll it into a single one, so that it cannot be split into a separate one. So similar way, that from preventing that fibers into splitting into individual one, we used to twist them. We used to just twist them so that it can be converted into a single one, and it will not be just separated into a individual one. So that process is called as throwing. Now we have cut this, we have to convert into a desirable color so that we can make a favorable, or we can say that desired fabric from that silk. That is, if you want to make a sari, then we used to just give that particular color, suppose blue, green, pink, whatever color we want. Suppose we have to make a curtain, so we have to give it a somewhat creamish color, so we have to give the color. Then that process is called as dyeing, in which we used to give the color to that silk, and after giving the particular color to the silk, that silk is ready for making the fabrics. So then afterwards we can use that particular silk for making our fabrics, such as sarees, dress materials, curtains, bed sheets, cushion covers, etc. So this is the whole life cycle of silk now. Then we have obtained this cocoon. Then cocoon we have to take that cocoon from, we have to take the silk fibers from that cocoon. So we have to carry out some process. We have carried boiling, then we have carried out the reeling for taking out the fibers. We have taken out the fibers, and we have then the categorization of that silk, that is raw silk, spun silk and nail silk. After this categorization, we have to just bind them all together so that it cannot be split into different ones. So we carry out throwing. And the last part, we have to impart the color to that silk, desired color to the silk, so that process is called as dyeing. And after that, that silk is ready to make the fabric. Then we can make whatever desired fabric we want to make. So now I will just make a flow chart to summarize this silk part, and you will be able to understand in a far better manner. So first, what has done that female moth lay eggs on mulberry leaves. I am just putting here ML, mulberry leaves. Now it has laid the eggs. These eggs after 20 days changes into larva, or we can say caterpillar. Then after that, after 6 months, it used to convert into cocoon. Then when we have obtained the cocoon, we used to boil it. We have done boiling. Then the larva die. When it is dyed, we used to reel. We have done reeling so that we get silk fibers. We have got the silk fibers. Then what we have done? We have got the raw silk. Simple silk we have done. We have got that. I have said you also that we have done the categorization of the silk, that is raw silk, nail silk and spun silk. So we have got the raw silk. Then for preventing them from splitting into individual ones, we have done throwing. When we have done throwing, we have get the thrown silk, or in other word we can say that we have get the combined silk fiber. Now when we have got the combined silk fiber, we have done dyeing, and we have got the colored silk, and then after weaving, means we have to make it, then we will get the silk cloth. So this is the whole cycle in which we have what we have studied till now. That first the female moth lay eggs on mulberry leaves, then it gets, after 20 days it gets converted into larva, or we can say caterpillar. Then for 6 months that caterpillar used to rest upon that mulberry leaf only, used to eat that mulberry leaf and gets converted into cocoon. Now we have obtained that cocoon, then we have to take that silk fiber from it, so we have to boil it. So after boiling, that larva inside that cocoon used to die. When that larva inside the cocoon is die, then we have to reel it so that we can get the silk fibers. So after reeling we get the silk fibers. When we have got the silk fibers, we have got it in the form of raw silk. We have studied three different categories of silk, that is raw, spun and nail silk. So we have got the raw silk. Then for preventing it from splitting into different, suppose कहीं वो बिखर ना जाए वो fibers, जो fibers हमको मिले. So for preventing it from it, we used to do throwing, and that combined silk is called as thrown silk. And after imparting the desired color, suppose we want white color, blue color, yellow color, pink color, green color, etc. what want, so we used to do dyeing, and after dyeing we get the color silk, and when that color silk we get for weaving, that is for making the cloth, we used to get silk cloth. This is the whole summarization of part of what we have studied today in this video. There are various other varieties of silk. That is, now I am talking about the varieties. We must have heard Chanderi silk, or that particular Maharashtrian silk. So these are the different categories. Tushar. So these are the different categories, varieties of silk which is available in the market. So your today's task is that you have to just write the names of the different varieties of silk which is available in the market. I am also giving you some of the names which are there, which are available in market. I am just writing over there. You can just correlate with them, and you can just have to check out their images, that what type of silk are these. Crepe, is there. Chanderi is there, which is most commonly used. Organza, Mulberry, Tussar, which I have told you, etc. Now apart from this, you have to search it on the, you can search in your Google, or you can search in your books also. So whatever book you are, and if you are not having the book, you can download it from the NCERTs just for reading purpose, or I am also sending you the PDF of your book with this video. So just read out the chapter, read out the what is a fiber, what are the different types of fibers, what is a wool, what are the steps which are involved in the processing of the wool, what is silk, what is the life cycle of silk moth, then how this cocoon is get converted into silk. So just first read out these things, then go through the notes which I have given to you. Just read that also. Then after doing this thing, that first you have watched all the 3 videos, then you have gone through the book part, then you have gone through the notes, then you will be able to understand this chapter in a far better manner. This is one of the most easiest chapter. Just put somewhat little effort so that you can easily just understand this whole terminologies which I have used in this chapter. So that's all for the today. Now I will be giving you some of the worksheet to solve, and you have to solve that worksheet, and in the next week we will start with the next chapter of your textbook. Till then, bye bye, and take care, stay home and stay safe. Thank you. Bye.